So today's video, slice-proof golf. What is that really? What are we going to do to guarantee that? Now, the cause of a slice can be obviously quite varied. And ideally, we'd want to know the blueprint you have in order to make sure you never slice the ball again. But from a science point of view and from a factual point of view, what we know is the club face is open at contact to produce a slice golf shot. So the club face at contact is pointing to the right for a right-handed golfer. The club face is going to be open. That is scientifically correct. It cannot be anything else to produce that ball flight. Obviously, the contact will create more curvature or reduce the curvature if we hit the ball in the heel or toe. If we hit the ball in the heel of the club, it's going to increase the curvature, generally speaking, unless we hit the low, snarpy left shot straight off the club. So we know at contact this club face is opening and is open to create that slice shot. So today we want to look at what we can do to change that club face relationship at contact at impact, and the steps we can look at within the setup, the backswing and the downswing and the through swing to help that happen. So I'm going to cover those kind of areas today. So the starting point would be a setup. Obviously we can check if your club is aimed correctly. If your club is aimed open at address, that'll be something that'll be worth taking a look at. For me, it makes a minor influence on really the overall pattern, because sometimes people set up the club face open but then will release the club subconsciously to make that even itself out. But it's worth checking out for sure. Check that club is at 90 degrees to your intended target line. So draw a line from your ball to target and then make sure your club sits pointing on that line at a 90-degree angle from the leading edge of the golf club. The second thing I want to look at a setup would be the grip. So if you take your grip as normal, I'd want you to be able to look and see how many knuckles you can see, and I'd want to be able to see 2 to 3 knuckles on the left hand to the lead hand. And this V created by the thumb and the first finger there wants to point somewhere between your collarbone and your right shoulder. So it wants to be in that general area. Now, if your grip is weak, pointing more over towards his left-hand shoulder or to the left side of your head, then it's worth making an adjustment there, making the grip what we would call stronger, or move it more to the right of the handle for a right-handed golfer. Now, if your grip is neutral, I would not want you to make it stronger. I definitely do not want you to feel we're going to create things that are worse to make things better, unless it's the only option. If you try everything else, and this is the only thing you can go back to change to make a difference to your ball flight, then I will accept that. I'd rather you work on the club face in the dynamic fashion and in the release patterns to change it, rather than giving you a poor grip to make you a better golfer. Now, if you don't want to work on your game at all, you don't want to hit golf balls, then maybe that's the way to go. You can change the grip. But for me, it would be the last thing to do. So, the other thing to check with the grip is if it's in the palm of the hand or not. If your grip sits too much in the palm of your hand, you will struggle to be able to release that golf club through the golf swing. So get that club face to close and rotate. So if it is in the palm, adjust it to be more in your fingers. And again, I have got a video on the perfect grip which you can watch. So I'm not going to cover the grip in full detail here. You can see that on one of my other videos on my channel. So once we've got past the setup, so aiming square and the grip in what we would call a neutral fashion, next thing to look at would be in takeaway. So I'd want this club to pretty much mirror your spine angle. Now, if the club is tending to be more toe up or even toe over to the right hand side here, I would want you to feel you get this club face more closed. You might feel that the right hand faces more towards the ground to help this. If you notice here, I've got a T-peg coming out of a sweatband in my arm. Now, this is mostly for the downswing. But if I wanted to point this T-peg more to the ground, that club face closes more. So again, depending on how you learn, you can stick a T-peg into your glove, on your arm, or onto the club head. And you can look at where these point. But certainly what we're looking to encourage you is have this club face in a stronger position rather than the weaker position if you're a slicer of the golf ball. Then as we work it from here to the top of the swing, again, I want to feel, if anything, the club face is kind of parallel to your lead arm, or if anything, more towards the sky. Now, more towards the sky is definitely going more closed. So if it's parallel to your lead arm, I'm pretty happy with that, again, because it's square. Again, we're trying to stop the club face opening. If we're going to encourage it to be more closed, that's probably going to help you, certainly from a short-term perspective, but let's at least get it square. And as we look at that to the top of the backswing, also look at our lead wrist. Now, lead wrist wants to be flat. If it's too cupped, that's going to open the face. If it's very bowed, that's going to make the face go much stronger, much more closed, like a John Rahm, for example. But John Rahm has a weak grip, so he has a flatter or more bowed wrist at the top. The face won't be as closed. So it's all about the compensations and matches up, for sure. So once we've got that at the top of the swing, let's just take another tee and put it in the glove. So just put it in the Velcro part of the glove here, so it sits in there. Again, at the top of the swing, that wants to be pointing up to the top, up to the sky. As we come down, feel that this tee peg almost goes back towards this camera. This one's going to be pointing out almost to this camera. So what we're doing there is creating what we call wrist flexion, bowing that wrist and again closing that club face. And then as we go to the golf ball, we're trying to keep that position as long as we can. But you will notice this tee peg is rotating from, say, an angle over here, let's call it 45 degrees, to much more 0 at the camera. Okay, so it's working and it's rotating, and again you see the glove one that's rotated also. And as we go through the golf ball, they continue to rotate, and now they're pointing much more towards my golf bag. And if we wanted to overdo this again to make the face really shut down, they point more towards the floor and my golf bag. So we really want to feel the tee peg's back to the camera, the tee peg's more towards the golf ball, the tee peg's more towards my golf bag, and if we wanted to overdo it, more towards the floor. Now, if I did that to that extreme level, I would definitely go ahead and hook this shot. And I might well try and hit one of those for you to show you that to start with. If you've been a slicer, hitting a hook is definitely the best way to feel a change. So on the practice ground, if we can get you hitting solid hooks and reduce the amount of curvature from right to left now instead of left to right, that'd be the way to go. But please bear in mind, obviously, if you step onto the golf course, it's very difficult to produce a drill type swing. So the chances of you producing the same swing you would from the practice ground to the golf course is going to be slim. So we want to do reps on the practice ground so it naturally happens on the golf course. That'd be my take on it. So let's try and go through that again. So we're going tee pegs to the ground, tee pegs to the sky, tee pegs more or less to the ground and back, tee pegs to the ground and through. So doing all those things, this golf ball should be a low hook, okay? Especially compared to my normal pattern of movement, where I'd normally hit a little bit of a draw with an iron shot. So if I sliced the ball, I probably would hit it straighter. I might reduce the amount of slice. I might even start to hit it straight left. Slicers will also tend to have a path that goes to the left. So in working this club face into a stronger position, the chances are the ball will start to go straight left, or even start left and go left. Again, this is the first great step to changing your slice and slice-proof golf. Then you would look to work on your swing path or your swing direction, if you like, to help straighten the ball out even more. Let's try a shot. So a little bit shallow, that one, didn't take much of a divot. The ball drew, finished left the target, so it'd become a hook, classification-wise. But the ball curved right to left. The strike wasn't perfect, but I was definitely trying to feel there I had that club face working in that much more closed fashion. And definitely from the ball flight, I did that. So the idea might well be that you do 20 reps or so doing that kind of movements. And again, if the tee pegs help you on your arm and the glove or the club head, do it. And certainly do this in the house or the garden or the yard to get you to feel the arm mechanics and how they're different. We're certainly feeling more supination with this lead arm. We certainly feel there's more rotation, supination with the lead wrist. So as we start down, there's more flexion and then more supination. That would be the feel we'd have. And all this in total is going to give us a much stronger club face and take the club face from being open to squarer to even closed. And again, we have to feed what you need. So we'd work on this until we start hitting the ball like we want, whether that be straight or a draw. And then we'd reduce the amount we would do this, practice swing wise and drill wise. So there you have it, a way of becoming a slice-proof golfer. Working on the club face, working on it in setup, working on it in takeaway, working at the top of the backswing, working on the start down and the fall through. Again, if you go through those checkpoints and discover it's only the start down you need to work on, then work there and spend your effort and time and energy there to make a difference to your game. I guarantee if you're a slicer, you'd love to start hitting more pulley hooks, and I guarantee if you're a hooker, you'd love to start hitting more fades and more slices. We always want to work away from where we are. It's always satisfying to see that change. So get on the practice area and change that ball flight, and then get on the golf course and play much more naturally, and hopefully that will be exactly where you want to be. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click like and share the video. Also, I'd like to invite you to chat down below. Ask me any questions, also request any videos you'd like to see in the future. Lastly, if you haven't already subscribed or followed me, I'd love to get you on my channel. I'd like to get you to be part of my channel and make sure this channel becomes a little bit about what you want, because then it'll become more successful. So please follow or subscribe. So thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again here soon.